Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Cool Talk Live, brought to you by Brown's Heating and Air, with your host, Brandon Brown.
Good afternoon, everybody. July, what is the date now? What do you got? The 14th.
We're halfway through the month, man.
Never in my life.
What in the world? Where did it go?
It's flying, man. The older you get, the faster it goes. And they were right. They always told me when I was younger, enjoy it now. It's going to get faster.
It literally, you blink and like 2 months goes by.
I just feel like we were just in like Memorial Day weekend-ish, like getting ready for summer.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about it at home yesterday. Bedford County schools, and some of them go back in less than a month now.
Yeah.
Because they moved the week up. I think they go like the 8th or 9th now instead of the laters, which is crazy to me because I grew up, we always went after Labor Day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's taking too much summer from the kids, in my opinion. I think you just need to wait. Just wait till after Labor Day.
Just wait.
Give them an extra couple weeks of summer.
What the heck?
But I think with COVID, everybody got behind.
Yeah.
So a lot of schools want to start earlier this year, I guess, to catch up, and hopefully they can open and go back to normal, because I've heard some of the schools are still going to require masks and different things.
Mm.
But hopefully that won't. Hopefully they'll change it and lift that by August. But welcome to everybody listening to Cool Talk, Brown's Heating and Air. Reminder, this is live on grovestreetfm.com. Go to that website now. If you're listening live, there is does it say chat or contact us?
There is. A little bubble will pop up at the bottom, and it will say, hey, messages.
Yeah. So
and there you go.
Please, if you're listening live and ever have any questions for me or Woody about our businesses, please hit it, because we get it live and we can answer it while you're listening. Go to grovestreetfm.com. The little bubble will pop up and ask a question or bring up request a topic you'd like to hear us talk about one day or try to answer today. So we'd love to hear from you. It's been hot recently, so a couple air conditioning tips I wanted to bring, because we run into this every summer, and I tell people, number one, check your filter. Please change your filter monthly. Or one of our number one service calls across, and it's all companies, in the summer we get there and the filters are dirty. So that'll save you a lot of time and money on breakdowns. Go ahead and change your filter. And also, if your system, if it's 95 plus and you're finding that your system's hard to just keep up, if it's older, in the morning is a time to set that down a few more degrees and let it cool, because once your house is hot and humid, it's harder to catch up. So go on, if you set it down a few degrees, just remember, if it's 95 plus, usually 20, 22 degrees below outside is about what it's going to maintain. So 73 to 5 is normal. Your system's may not be going bad, but it's just trying to keep up. So some few tips to save a few service calls if you have that before you call in. First, check your filter and make sure all your vents are open and get them cleaned and serviced. If you have not, give us a call. Central Virginia area, we do a great tune-up and inside and out, cleaning your units, make sure they're tip-top shape. Just give us a call, 434-610-4373, and they will set you up with that. We had a big week this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brown's Heating and Air, Chic-fil-a and Watts Creative Studios is coming together for something in our minds, and I think you'll like it too, something really big coming up. And we're going to be announcing it. It'll actually be announced in August, but we did release a couple sneak peek promo videos or pictures of us videoing a commercial with the cow. Woody did with us Monday, so We're really excited for that.
And as soon as we posted that picture, my phone was blowing up asking,
did you get some too?
Did Brandon buy a Chick-fil-A? Did Brandon is Brandon giving away free Chick-fil-A? Is Brandon
I got the same thing, man.
I was like, I know nothing.
We've gotten calls, friends, family, messages. Are you and Dara a franchise owner now, or are you giving customers free Chick-fil-A for a year? Are you going to have a contact? I mean, anytime you team up with Chick-fil-A,
oh my gosh,
it's good.
People lose their minds in a good way over Chick-fil-A, and that was the first thing people were like, hey, what's Brandon doing? I was like, I can't tell you anything.
Yeah. Tune in August.
Tune in
the commercial
August
comes on WSET, and and other channels, you'll get the announcement of what we're doing and our plan. But it's going to be awesome.
It'll be great. And they were great. I'm not going to say anything what we were filming,
Right.
but while we were filming, man, they're great though. They're really easy to work with.
They were. As soon as I brought this idea up to Woody, and then I pitched it to the Chick-fil-A, to the marketing and the directors. This is the Wards Road River Ridge Mall
Wards Road, River Ridge.
locations. And they have different locations, different owners. They didn't hesitate on saying, yes, this is something we really want to be involved in. And there was no pushback. They met. We told them what we wanted to do. They showed up, filmed the commercial, brought the cow.
Had the cow out there.
Had the cow.
Brandon's going to open up 5 Chick-fil-A's in Lynchburg.
5
so
Chick-fil-A's.
there you go.
All right. Well,
Secret's out the bag.
The secret is out.
You
I wish I could, man.
Man, I'll tell you what. Absolutely.
They make a killing.
Yeah, I would.
And it's good food.
It's great.
The best food chain in the world to me, because I mean, where can you go and serve that many people an hour that quick and always have good service?
Oh, like every time you go, that is really like you see the line out on Ward Road.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't take long.
It doesn't matter. And I had the chicken minis when I left.
Oh yeah, you took Laura some. Did you eat them before you got home?
Oh.
You're not grounded, are you?
I came home and you would have thought like it was Christmas time. I mean, I got so many points on that one.
Yes.
But I hadn't had chicken minis in a long time. And I was like, man, they need to sell this bread by the loaf. That stuff is good.
It is good. And I can eat it. I got Alpha Gal, but I can eat the grilled sandwich and the fries and the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A saving you every day.
Every time. We were traveling to the beach, and where are we going to eat? I'm going to pull up and see where Chick-fil-A is.
As long as it's not on Sunday.
And then I just have to starve, I reckon. But
and think about that too. Every time on Sunday we go by a Chick-fil-A, right?
And we just get depressed.
We keep I bring it up. I'm like, they are intentionally not working. Think about the money they are turning down to not be open.
That's true.
To prove a point,
but still, but to stand their ground.
Yeah, and
I agree with that. And I mean, I don't blame them. So, and nobody else. I mean, they stay busy, so it's nobody. It's not like everybody's picketing and protesting and saying we're not going to Chick-fil-A, because they're not, because everybody got laughed because they put Chick-fil-A as one of the sponsors of the Atlanta Falcons football stadium, and like, well, we play football on Sunday, but the other 6 days when you have concerts and
that's right,
then they bring in hockey or basketball, they're selling a bunch of Chick-fil-A.
Oh my gosh,
that one day off for NFL is not hurting them.
It doesn't hurt them at all. Plus, it's their reasoning, and I'm just. I'm not proud. I don't know what I am, but it's like, it's refreshing that, you know what, they are turning down a truck ton of money to stand their ground in what they believe in. But good for them.
Yeah, and that's.
I'll see you Monday morning though.
We didn't mean to go on a Chick-fil-A rant on that.
Sorry,
Chick-fil-A. That was. But we have been very honored and proud that they jumped in on doing this event that we're going to be having soon. And if you are interested, definitely tune in. And around the beginning of August, we'll start having some promo commercials coming out, giving some hints or different things. But around the first, second week of August, it'll be full blown out, and everybody will get to participate in one way or another. Actually, so it's going to be like nobody's left out.
It'll be fun.
So I'm looking forward to that, and this is going to be great. And we're actually going to have, I think, around the first Wednesday of August on my live talk, I'm going to have Carrie, my wife, and Dara in. My wife and Dara. My wife is Dara. Carrie from Chick-fil-A, my wife Dara, and Afton, their marketing director. They're going to come in and we're going to talk about what's
nice,
the event and what's happening.
Yeah.
Their role, my role, and what's going to happen, and we're going to kind of actually give a cool talk entrance to the program as well for the blast off of it. So that'll be fun.
That'd be great.
So that'll be, look
exciting.
for that in about probably the second week of August, because I'm going to be in Atlanta watching the Braves the first Wednesday of August. And Diane's going to sit in from Central Virginia Coalition from Talk Local to Me. She's going to sit here, I think, with Laura, right?
That's
Laura,
right.
Your wife Laura's going to come in.
Yes.
They're going to be cool talk for the half hour the first Wednesday of August.
That's right. She's signed as the guest on the day. So.
That's going to be great. She's does home decorative. She makes soaps, a lot of home decorative stuff. I bought soaps and lotions, really good. And hopefully she'll promote the books a little bit too.
Yep.
Get that out. A little
Talk about her wonderful husband.
Yeah, talk about the best husband
just
with
the best
who,
husband.
who won the Gold Award in marketing.
I mean, if she brings that up,
Congratulations.
I can't fault her. Thank you so much.
It is. You are the best, man.
It's fun.
You deserve it. It's a lot of work.
It's when you have great clients and a community, it makes it worth it, and it's nice. It's just like, oh man, thank y'all. Thank you so much for recognizing. It's a great feeling, especially in this small area that we live in.
Yeah, and it's getting harder to find people that do our line of work.
Yeah.
That's one thing I want to talk about today is trade schools overall and the decline in the attendance and the enrollment and why that is and try to advocate. I've been on the board with CVCC for a few years now, trying to advocate to students that trade school is not a bad route to go in life. And I would consider marketing and doing what you do too, Woody, kind of a trade, wouldn't you?
Oh, exactly.
Because it's hard to find people, other companies in the area. It's very hard to find see people that are doing what you're doing.
Oh gosh, and it's not something that you really go. I mean, yeah, you can get a degree in it, but you know how it is. Like you go to school, you learn it, and I did the same thing. I got out of school. I didn't want to go to college. I went into working with my hands, and then I picked up a camera, and so absolutely.
And that's where I was. I graduated high school, Rustburg, in 2000, and about my junior year, I was getting to the point where I knew I wasn't going to go to a 4-year college. One, I had 3 brothers, a sister. My mom and dad were working hard. I just knew it was going to be too expensive. And number 2, I just didn't like school, like the book side.
Exactly.
I was really good at the shop. I could learn things. Mechanical, get me in the field. So I did get a heating and air job and I went to the counselors, and that's one issue. And I found online there's 4 major issues to why trade schools overall, and when I say trade schools, I'm talking about heating and air, plumbing, electrical, machining, welding, digital, all the trades you can think of. There's 4 top reasons, and I agree with all 4 of these. I found that why they're declining, but we need to debunk these and get kids back interested.
Yeah.
And number 1 in the top issue that people have with trade schools was for years they have been used for dumping grounds for problem students.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is when I was a junior in high school, they had dual enrollment where I could go to CVCC or VOTEC half a day, come back to school. But it took me forever to get in because I was not a troubled student, as they put it. So they would send the kids that would have trouble listening and have trouble doing school to these VOTEC and these college programs to get them out of the school for half a day.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it was true because when I finally got into the program, literally it was 12 to 14 of us in heating and air. Literally only 3 of us were really serious and wanted to be there, and the rest of them just sat back and got in trouble the whole time. Mm-hmm. So it was hard for us to learn. The public schools would use that to get rid of the kids that they didn't want to mess with.
Yeah. And
they would go do the mechanics and the small engines and the cosmetology. They would, any of the students like, yeah, because it took me forever. I go to the counselor, like, I really want to get into heating and air because it's getting me 1 college credits. It's paid for by the county. And they fought back for a long time. No, your grades are really good. You're not really getting in trouble. You can just stay in school. So finally, I did get in, luckily, and get that 2 years. So when I graduated from high school in 2000, and I got a career certificate for the heating and air and left college the same year I graduated high school and did not have to go back. And it was all paid for.
Yep.
And so it's sad, but it's true. So a lot of kids, I think now, if you're thinking about it and you don't want to do college, don't be scared to ask because there's nothing wrong. Even a straight A student, smart as can be, some of them don't want to go to college and think of something. You can go to trade. And I know a buddy of mine at the same time went to machine school. Same time I did heating and air. We graduated. He had an offer at B&W. He's still there, and he's probably making $30, $40, $50 an hour.
Yeah.
Welding and doing machinists because they come higher right out of school.
Yep.
That's a good.
No, that's a great job. And
no college debt.
No. And there's something too, though. There's something to being in a trade, like working with your hands and, because I worked at a rock quarry for about 10 years or something. and just really the fundamentals that it teaches while you're doing it, like it makes your life easier, because like when you go home, like you posted a picture, your AC broke,
Right.
and you were able to go out there and fix it yourself
Yeah.
instead of paying for somebody else to come in and
I had
fix
a call Saturday, my own house, woke up at 3 a.m. this past Saturday, hot, and I knew it was hot. And my wife was like, "It's not hot." I said, "Well, it's above 70. I can tell." I got up, it was 72.
You've got an internal
I'm
radar
sweating,
now. Yep.
and I just knew sitting in the bed. I went down, my outdoor unit won't run, and I said, "Daggone it." So I was up at like 6 a.m, went to the shop, got the part, and it was up and running by 7 before the boys got up, and boom, we're cooling again. Go. So, but that number 2 on the list for out of the top 4 I found of why they started, and most of these trade schools have been failing since, are starting to decline literally since the 70s and 80s. This isn't recent, but we're now starting to get the effects of the trade schools that have declining, because we're starting to see it's harder to find people to do the work. So this has been for years. It's not recent. So these top 4 are starting back in the 70s and 80s, that they started seeing this is why they're declining. And number 2, the majority of teachers back then never attended a trade school, so they had a overall negative opinion of them. It was more of where, they went to college to be a teacher. You need to go to college to get a degree.
Yeah.
And they never really witnessed a trade school, never went through it. They kind of put it to the side as not needed. And I'm not saying every teacher. There's a lot of teachers that advocate for it. I think just overall as a school system, and I did see this because it was hard to get in them. It was hard for girls to get in nursing or EMT or cosmetology, because they would pull them aside and say, "No, we really think you need to go to a 4-year and just try teaching or try this or that," and try to sway them away. But they really wanted to do trade school.
Yeah.
There's and of course, number 3, there's no acclaim that there was awarded for graduating one of them or receiving a scholarship to one. Like, I didn't get a scholarship. And they made trade schools more of a 2-year career studies certificate instead of a degree, which I don't agree with. Yeah. They still to this day don't acknowledge it as a diploma.
Yeah.
I mean, you could I graduated CVCC, but when I went and got it wasn't a diploma, I got a certificate. I had it, I opened it and just says certificate of passing, heating and air and ventilation. It was like a certificate, not really something you can say as a degree or an associate's or bachelor, which I don't agree with. I think they could add some maths and construction, maybe Englishes to it, and make it a diploma. So that doesn't entice kids to go to college for 2 years if they can't get a diploma.
Yeah.
It's kind of all this work you're putting into something, and then you just get a career studies certificate.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that's kind of led down. Number four that comes up, it was called envy, and which was really shocking to me. I didn't think about this, but it says an HVAC technician or other trades, heating and air, electrical, plumbing, can come out of high school earning more money than majority of elementary, middle, or high school teachers with 15, 20 years of service, which is true. Because I think
that's true.
And I'll be the first one to say teachers are underpaid.
Oh God, yeah. My wife taught for 12 years, and I'd look back, and even then it was like, man, you don't get paid enough.
And then you got to think, if you're not making that, it takes longer to pay your college off.
Yep.
But they definitely underpaid because. And it's true, because right now you could come out of high school and do a trade. Like we would hire. You're looking at coming out of high school making anywhere from $12 to $15 an hour. Right out of high school with no experience. That's good money.
That's great.
And if you go to get your degree and you get your MasterCard or your journeyman's, which is heating and air, you can come out. You can make $60,000 to $80,000 a year within 4 or 5 years of graduating high school.
Yeah,
that's I don't know what a teacher's salary is now, 40, 50, but
public school, maybe.
And that's with 4 years
40s,
college,
mid-40s, maybe.
So, and that was just some unique things on why it's why they're declining. But the seriousness part of it is, in the last 3 years. The trade schools overall, and when I'm talking about trade, like I said, all them businesses, you got nursing because they do have that, and machining and welding, they're averaging dropping 15 to 20% of enrollment a year. So we're averaging close to 20 to 30,000 students fewer or leer nationally going into these trade schools. So what that's going to do is, and what they say is, if this keeps going, we will not even catch up to the supply of skilled laborers in U.S. for trade schools until at least 2050, which is another 30 years from now.
Yeah.
So, and we're starting to see that now, because if you look, a lot of it don't, and I don't know if it's just the new millennium of kids, or that now they're growing up more in, more sheltered or more on electronics and not really going out to do the trade works like the hard work that we're used to. If it's just a culture, I guess, that's changing, or if they're still not, promoting trade schools like they should. But I hope that if you're listening now, and you, even if you're not a teenager or a kid, but if you have a kid thinking about it, now's the time. If they're getting into high school, start finding them a summer job, do a ride along, do an apprenticeship during the summer, learn a trade, see if they like it. Because imagine the free schooling you can get if you get an apprenticeship program and the work's paying it. They're guaranteeing you a raise every semester you pass. On the apprenticeship, you have to give them at least 50 cents per semester. So let's say 2 years. You go to a 2-year program. At the end of it, your minimum you're going to have is another $2 an hour if you pass the program.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed a job. So it's definitely a good thing to push these two, because we're starting to the average. I think I found this the other day. The average age for tradesmen right now is 55, where when I started it was 30 back in 2000. So our average age has increased 15 years of average age in just 21 years, meaning in not too long from now, we're going to be hurting for workers. You're going to need air conditioning. And if you're going to be you're going to have people out there doing it. But my scary is you're going to have a lot of companies out here that's doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And it's going to really mess something up, or screw somebody over on money or just their house or job. And it's going to start really giving a bad name to the trades. And we've got to get kids involved in this and learning early, because I'd rather take a kid about 18, 19 that knew nothing about it like I was. I went into it, never, hardly knew what a thermostat was, didn't know how to operate it, didn't know what it did. And I learned what I did by just riding with somebody every day and learning the basics, going to college for it and getting a degree, and then started my own business in 2006. Yeah. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me, was luckily forcing my way into a dual enrollment to where, I could go to college and learn a trade.
That's right.
Because I don't know what I would have done if I didn't. My brother went into the Marines, and that got him a career in the Marines. One of my other brothers, he works for Comcast now in Indiana. He actually does commercials. So he's like in all the stadiums doing Comcast, which is a trade. To me, that's a trade, and so he's doing good. But I wouldn't have went to college because I just didn't have the want to go to college.
No, that was me. I couldn't. My dad told me, he said, you can go. You have to pay for it though. Yeah. And then, and I for about a week I thought about it. I was like, I'm barely want to finish where I'm at in high school. It was a marathon there at the end, and then it's like I couldn't imagine doing it for 4 more years.
Right.
So, gosh.
And just imagine the money now. If you have a teenager now that is on the verge of not knowing what to do, and he can get in a trade within the next 5 years, he can almost name his price to go work for somebody.
Yep.
Because the hiring issues across the world. Yes, fast foods can hire, in different places can just hire anybody off the street and tell you what to do, but you got to be skilled to do a lot of it. Machining and welding, electrical, plumbing. You've got to have certain skills and training to where you're going to be able to, or people are going to start paying really good money an hourly. Right. They're going to come out of high school, no debt, making $20, $25, $30 an hour, full benefits. Yep. And sitting pretty.
And eventually too, it's just like yourself and like what I did. Like eventually, you want to kind of be your own boss. Yeah. Where you're in a trade, like you start your own business, you become really good at it, you build up a good customer base, you see areas that you can maybe do or change the way that the business is done.
Yeah.
And it not that it's easier, but it's just a different route that if you did want to be an entrepreneur, I mean, what better way, than to do it that way?
And you can go home feeling so good about yourself because even though it's a trade, I consider our business a community service.
Yes.
I mean, I can go home. I would go home at night as a technician and just think, I went to 10 to 12 calls a day that had no air, no heat. And when I left, they were happy because their kids were going to be cool that night. They're going to have heat that night. Or a plumber fixed a water leak and they got water back to the house. They can take a bath again.
Exactly.
You help people. You're helping. You're in the community and you're in house to house. You're helping people solve a problem that they can't solve.
Yep.
So it should not be under a trade or should not be undermined or undercut whatsoever.
No.
They're just as important as any other business that you can go in because of that.
Well, you remember, especially during the beginning of like COVID and the quarantine, how being in a trade, how important that was then, because they were essential.
Yeah, we had to work. We didn't stop.
That's something that keeps going. That's something that's not going away. Heat and Air was
listed with fire, rescue, police, and different essential jobs and food. Heat and Air was listed, and so was plumbing, electrical, because it was midsummer last year. Everybody was home for COVID.
Yep.
And no air condition. We had to go. So we did all the precautions and nobody lost a job.
That's right.
So keep it in mind. If you have any questions too, please always ask me. Email us on the show or contact us. Contact me, Brown Heating and Air. Well, I'll be glad to help if you have a kid looking at different trades or wants to get in touch with CVCC. There's a school in Alta Vista for all the trades that does the technical 2-year program as well. Let me know. I'll help anybody. And it ain't got to be just heating and air. Get in the right direction and get a career going. And last thing, Dale, I want to bring up. Remember last week we had Bonnie and them on,
and Shannon and Bonnie. Yeah.
And I brought the flyer back today to remind everybody that since it's getting ready to start school, they have a back to school shoes project going in Roanoke right now. If you visit fleetfeetroanoke.com/project forward. $30 buys shoes for one student. $150 will buy them for 5 students. And right now, they need all the money. All the money that's donated or raised for this program is going to kids in Roanoke County, Roanoke City Schools that need shoes. The program also provides different book bags and clothes for these students that are in need. So they've already know who the kids are and who needs them. And they're in definite need of these to be able to go to school and have, it's definitely a bad, first day of school is always nerve wracking, but if you got to go as a kid and you're in with old shoes and old clothes, and you don't want to add that stress to somebody.
No, you want them to have, worry about schoolwork. Don't worry about the stuff that can be prevented that people can help with. So
$30 really. Yeah. One student gets a pair of shoes. So if you're able to go on there, please do it. fleetfeetroanoke.com/project forward and get a donation if you can, business wise, personal wise, and let's get these school kids that are going back some shoes. So hope that was some good information today on trade schools, the Chic-fil-A announcement coming up with us, an event, and giving some shoes back. So please contact us if you want us to talk about anything, and have a great week. We'll see you next Wednesday.